Most expensive purchases ever made on Pawn Stars. Pawn Stars fan. You just can't get enough of it. Ever wondered what the most expensive stuff bought there is? Then we have just the right video for you. Hello guys, welcome to another video. Now before we begin, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell button to be the first to watch our content. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 6. A 1922 high relief dollar for $80,000. Yup, a dollar for $1,000. This is one of the rarest American coins ever made. The coin in question has really high and sharp grooves. This made the coin in question really beautiful to look at, but it wore off. That's why all those features were taken off shortly after. So now, what is the story behind it? So the owner of the coin lost it in a poker game. He knew that the coin was expensive but never thought this was expensive. The poker player estimated it at the value of $20,000. However, Rick's coinage expert said it could be easily sold for about $100,000. Therefore, the player jumped at Rick's offer to sell it for $80,000. Number 5. 1941 Gibson SJ 200 guitar for $85,000. Now a guitar is something every pawn shop has had at least once in their lifetime. Now, this model was used by Stephen Stills of Crosby. The guitar was quite well maintained, really beautiful with the fine sound a mid-century Gibson would make. But still 85 grand. Well yeah, this guitar had a bill signed by Stephen Stills himself. Rick Harrison was completely sure that $85,000 would be covered along with profits. There was bound to be a collector who listened to Ohio too many times to count and would give anything to get their hands on it. Number 4. Mary Ford's 1961 Gibson SG Les Paul guitar for $90,000. As it is, Gibson's Les Paul signature guitars are damn costly. But when you have one used by one of the greatest songwriters of all time, with her name on it, the boy is a collector's edition. For those who don't know, in the 1950s, Les Paul and his wife Mary Paul were a wildly popular singing duo. They had about 28 hits in that period. Mary and Number One actually played the guitar in very questionable tracks like How High the Moon. This made the value of this reach the skies. Now the only reason they could get their hands on this guitar was because of the wild popularity this show received to buy and sell antiques. So the Harrisons bought this guitar for $90,000. Number 3. A 1932 Lincoln Roadster for $95,000. Ford made the 1932 Lincoln Roadster drive its then competitor, Cadillac, away. It was priced at $4,000 then, which is roughly about $70,000 today. They just had to buy this car, made in the middle of the Great Depression. The Harrisons went way beyond the price and sealed the deal at $95,000. Interestingly, the seller of the car had bought gold worth $95,000 from their shop on the same day with the same money. Number 2. 3,000 ounces of silver at $111,000. Now, this was something in their expertise. There was a customer who had claimed to have 3,000 ounces of silver bars and coins. Now, one can be easily scammed into getting fake silver. This is because the scammer can quite easily have a different cheap metal at its core. So, to test it out, Rick drilled the bar to its center and verified that it was all silver. Next, he took some of the silver as a sample and tested it with nitric acid. The exposure to the acid solution made the silver all milky white. After being assured of the purity of the silver, the whole purchase was made at the market price, which amounted to roughly $111,000. Number 1. $250,000 for Morris Sendak sketches. In one of the seasons, Rick came across a dealer who had the original sketches to the popular children author Morris Sendak's Where the Will Things Are. Rick, who was a fan of his works, couldn't help but fanboy over those sketches. He had never seen anything like that before. Now Sendak had never really sold prints of his work. Those sketches were one of a kind. Rick quickly consulted with an art expert and found out that he could expect to get about $310,000. Rick bargained with the dealer to get it for $250,000. What do you think of these purchases? Were they really worth it? Which purchase do you think could have been made at a much lower price? Which seemed like a really good deal to you? Would you buy any of these? Let us know in the comments down below. So this was all for today, guys. Let us know what you thought about this video. If you liked it, then don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.